guitars that I love, and I've been asked to test them out, and so this is what I'm going to do, and it's for a chap called Anders. So hello Anders, this is for you. I'm going to start with the 422CE. Now I've deliberately, for the sake of this video, I'll do a bit more afterwards after I've done the video, but I really did genuinely want to do this off the cuff. So I've asked the tech to set them up, I've sat them down, I've literally not done any preparation at all. So I'm going to try not to waffle. I'm going to just you're going to watch what I can do. I'm going to delve into it and just see what I think. I've been asked to, the chap Anders wants me to look at the playability, don't you Anders? So obviously, as I said to you, we've got the guitar's hand finished, set up, so the action's absolutely lovely. So have a listen to the acoustic sound. Strings as well, so I have to sort of some of this is a good one. This is actually a slightly cheaper guitar, still all solid woods, rosewood, very similarly spec'd, spruce top, rosewood back and sides, similar body shape, probably a little bit larger. So this is a slightly larger body, and I'm expecting maybe a little bit of fullness to come from that larger body, but we'll see. And I'll talk about the neck in a minute as well. I feel the neck feels different. This has got a satin neck. So the last one had a gloss neck, and this one's got a satin neck. So well, immediately I can hear now. This is something I tell people about when they come into the shop. When you hear when you're listening to multiple guitars, it's really important that you take yourself away from the last. Your ears get attuned; they get used to hearing the last guitar you played. Even the tuning, I make sure these are in tune, but the tuning, if one's in tune but to a different pitch, it'll really throw your ears when you hear the next guitar, and the next guitar won't sound as good because your ears are used to hearing everything in a slightly different pitch. So it's important to make sure your guitars are tuned up to the same pitch, but also to kind of allow the new guitar to grow on you. And I'll explain why I said that in a minute. So I'm going to listen to this one now. Go back to the other one. I don't know how this is being picked up on the look. I love Faith guitars, but I'm going to just tell you how Faith guitars are a cheaper price point. If I listen to that Faith guitar in its own right, at its own price point, which is about 800 and something pounds, this is about £1,000. So I'll put the prices in the links under the video. But it's about £150 difference in price, I think. But I cannot ignore the alive tone that I get from this, the presence on that, especially when I heard that bottom E. Just the second I heard that guitar over the bottom E, I could just tell it was saying something different. It was a bit more subdued. So for me, I don't know. Let me think of something to play. I play all these little open chords. This isn't like a. It's hard to do. Normally I fly backwards and forwards doing all this, and I'm in my little place, and I'm not trying to present anything because I'm sorry if it all looks a bit crappy. Yeah, for me, it's clear how I feel, and this is the thing. I sell. Oh goodness me, I feel terrible because I'm a massive fan of this range of guitars, and we are looking at two different price points. But they are the same specification. They're both spruce, both rosewood back and sides. The beautiful detailing. I mean, this guitar actually is quite beautiful. So here we look at a bit of the cosmetics. Now, also, what's very important is have a quick look at the satin neck. Now, the neck is satin. Whereas this one, we have the gloss. Okay, we've got gloss neck and then the rosewood on here. The rosewood's lighter. We don't have the same maple bindings, so this is the lower spec of this particular model. If we went to the more expensive one, you would be looking at what's called a model called the 722CE with absolutely extraordinary. I think I showed a video the other day of the 522CE, which is the same guitar but with mahogany back and sides. So this is the more simpler, relatively more affordable, but just a tad over £1,000. So here we've got the gloss neck. So if you don't like gloss necks, you wouldn't like this guitar. Satin necks. Thickness of the neck though, this neck is slightly slimmer than the Faith. This is just slightly slimmer. The Faith guitar has a slightly thicker feel to it, and I actually do like I do like this neck on this guitar. And that chime is there. It was on the last one I did. I did an Eastman. I looked at an Eastman the other day and said what I loved about that. And there is something wonderful about the tone. Ooh. So playability, they both feel very similar in terms of the action because we've set them both up. The Faith guitar in its own right, I'm going to be doing a presentation on all the Faith guitars, showing different body shapes and sizes and how they affect the tone. So I'm hoping to bring you that soon. A wonderful guitar, but slightly pipped by the Eastman in my opinion. But the reason for presenting this video is if I hadn't done this video, the person, hi Ander, Anders, you know, if I want to say, if I talk to Anders now, if I was on my own now, I'd be kind of pushing towards the Eastman because I find that the detail and there's some volume which actually kind of outpowers this one. From my ears, obviously the recording will say maybe otherwise when you hear it back. Now, very, very finally, something I haven't even mentioned. Oh my goodness, and I need to plug this in. This one, I have a new plug, you know, the little button that you press and it stops the thing. This guitar has got a Fishman Matrix pickup. So theoretically, I should be hearing some very natural, very beautiful tones, because I've recommended this pickup for many, many years. And already, I don't know how much of that you can hear. Everything's set very, very flat. So let's say, for example, I want to bring you some more brilliant sound. Get a bit of treble in there. Let's make sure. Can you hear that? too much, but gives you an idea of how you can bring that treble right in. But if I put a bit of bass, take a little bit of me, a skippy slight. Very nice. Little bit of reverb in there. Now I love that detail. That's the kind of sound that I really like. I'm big into that kind of. Love it. Right, press the button. Normally it pops like mad. And just quickly go to Faith. Now I'm expecting a certain kind of sound out of this one, so let's just see how it compares. The big benefit, we have the EQ. So I don't like seeing lumps of plastic on guitars, but obviously EQ systems do give you the benefit of the bass and treble control, and your tuner built in. So let's take that on. Woohoo! Very loud, not too loud. Whee! Volume turned right up. So. Now, when I hear that one, for me, it lacks the texture, the detail of the Fishman. So that is, I've always said that about Faith guitars. They're incredibly popular, immensely popular. I love them to bits. The shadow system, it has a very natural timbre, if that's a phrase. It is a woody, textured sound, but to me it's just a little bit too dark, a bit too, for my personal liking. I feel terrible because these are both such commendable, wonderful brands, and I feel a bit awkward even separating them, especially publicly. But you know, this is a cheaper guitar than the next step up. So I think it's fair to say that electroacoustically, the Fishman Matrix is really superb. Not such a big fan of the shadow, relatively speaking. I like the dynamics and clear tone you get from the Fishman. Acoustically, the Eastman, you know, it's a handmade guitar. You know, they use exquisite quality woods, and there's something about the way in which they build their guitars that gives their guitar such a voice and texture and detail. So I've probably waffled on more than I need to, but I'll be telling Anders, hi Anders, that not, you know, under normal circumstances, if there was no video, I'd go with that one. But Anders, the choice is yours. It's not my guitar, and I love both, but I know I've been a bit vocal, but you asked me to be. So in this case, if somebody, you know, I normally just let people make the choice, let them decide. If they're in the shop, they've got the benefit of doing that. But if you're not in the shop and you are relying on someone to give you an opinion, well, that's what I'm here to do as well. So hopefully that's helped Anders, and I hope it's helped anyone else having a look at my recommendation. Two very similar guitars, similar body sizes, similar prices. Eastman's more expensive, and I think from a personal point of view, I think the price point is justified. Okay, cheers, bye.